Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Classic 50 seminar on online banking. I'm Joan Kellerman, and I'm the Vice President, Classic 50 Coordinator. And Glenn Haynes is he's a personal banker at our South Bank. He was here just a minute ago. He's probably outside here. Personal banker at our Chatham branch, and he's a Classic 50 officer. And we're very happy to have this for our customers today. And I'd like to introduce our presenters. We have Matt Stark, Vice President. We have Kelsy, Neuf, Retail Training Officer. And we have back in the back, we have Brian Anderson, Assistant Vice President, Wabash Branch Manager, Tim Donaldson, Assistant Branch Manager Officer. And there's Glenn, which I was just pointing out to you. Okay. So that's sure. Thank you.
Stand up to do a brief intro here and kind of go over the formatting of the presentation. How many have been to a seminar at Bank of Springfield before? Any hands? Okay, good. Well, welcome back. Appreciate you guys coming in and taking the time to be with us today and learn a little bit more about the online banking products that we offer. Many of you may use them already, so this will be a nice refresher. If you don't use them, all the gentlemen and Kelsey here in the front will be glad to answer any questions. We do want it to be interactive, so any questions that you may have, feel free to raise your hand. We'll get to them. And then anyone that's virtual, we'll address those questions as well. So again, I'm Matt Stark. I've been with the bank for 15 years now, and I oversee our digital channels along with our call center and our business services online products. So it's my pleasure to be here with you guys today and we'll go over kind of a high level overview of the different products and services that we have. And then after the program, after lunch, we can dive into some of the details and more personal questions that you may have individually on account structure, how you sign up for things, how to utilize it best for your everyday needs. So an overview of what we're going to talk about today. It's okay. Managing finances easily and more securely with online banking. I think going digital and having online services can be scary. A lot of the fraud does come from online sources. But what we want to do is teach you and help you identify programs in which to help you be more secure by using online and digital services. So we don't want you to be afraid of them. We want you to use them to your advantage, essentially. So the products and services we're going to talk about are e-statements, managing your cards, which would be your debit cards, alerts and notifications, online bill pay, Zelle, external transfers, and then finally credit sense. We're going to follow up with a little bit of just how to be better protected from fraud. We'll go over some steps there as well, as we see that all the time. May's coming up, and that's our security month, so we do a lot internally here. But it's an ongoing challenge for us and all banks in reality. So I don't know if many of you know this, but fraud is a multi-billion-dollar industry now. So it's really more of a business. It's not really just scammers in their basements. It really is a business model. And then again, we'll do the step-by-step walkthrough of the online banking channels. So we're going to kick off with e-statements. I'm going to have a seat just so you guys can see better. But e-statements we'll get into, they provide an easily accessible and eco-friendly way to view all of your account transactions. And it helps eliminate the clutter of paper and allows you to store and retrieve past statements on your hard drive and keep them out there for 2 years. So they're accessible. And we as a bank feel that they are better protected and safer than paper statements. So how many of you have complained about the mail service? You sent something and somebody hasn't gotten it for a week, 2 months, whatever the case is. I think we all run into that. So not that the mail service is bad, but if we could take that out of the equation, that'd be great. The statements online are exactly the same as they are that come via mail. And so if we can eliminate people from either stealing them, intercepting them, them getting lost with their sensitive information, we prefer that.
So I'm going to walk through all of the pictures for you because it's something that I do a little more in depth when I'm with a customer or helping the bankers out. We actually had a banker that works with Glenn in Chatham that actually typed this up for us as the bankers, as well as for anybody who ever needed kind of some step-by-step guidance on how to enroll in these e-statements. It includes pictures and clear-cut steps here. So it kind of goes through starting with step one. We do recommend that you use the BOS website when you're initially setting up your online. It's just the way that it's formatted. It's easier to see everything. It allows you to see the steps for e-statements. When you first log in, it is going to ask you to reset or update your username and your password that we give you. We set your username up pretty basic and simple, easy to remember for you. And that way, when you do change it, you can change it to something that you want. Passwords, we give everyone the same temporary password. So it will initiate you to put in a new password when you're setting it up. That way, everyone's is unique to them. You're then going to go through and actually, if you want to go to the next slide, you can because it's got it. You'll go up there onto the profile. So once you get logged in with all of that, this is kind of what your main page will look like. You go up to that profile button there, and it brings you to like your editing settings that you can do there. You're going to go down to the e-statements, and you'll click on edit there. And once you click on edit, it's going to pull up any accounts that you have. The nice thing about our online is if you have 2 accounts currently and you come in and open 2 more, when our system saves it at the end of the night, it automatically puts those on there. There's nothing that you need to do extra. And you simply just go to the section with the account that you need to enroll and you choose e-statements rather than paper. And then what we're going to have you do is it has you go to the terms and conditions page. Which is on this step 5 here. It is a little tiny link, so sometimes it kind of gets blended in with some of the other words, but you will click on the link for the terms. It will bring you to a confirmation code. You do have to scroll down to the bottom of that page, and it will provide you with a 4-digit code. Once you put that in and hit save, you will now be enrolled in e-statements. They come to you via the email that you provide us at the time of the account opening, and it comes in PDF form. So you can print those just like we would send them to you, or you can save them to your computer or to any file that you wish. That's it for e-statements.
Somebody have any questions on that? So a lot of what we're going to show you here today is available, if you're using a laptop or a desktop computer. Then a lot of these same options with a little bit different variation are available in the mobile app as well. Is anybody utilizing the mobile app today? Okay, very good. Good. Any questions from the virtual? Okay. We will move on to managing your cards. So we recently did an upgrade to this service, and so what we've done is try to make it easier for you to self-service your cards. We're open from 8 to 5, and then 8 to noon on Saturdays. But what we want you to be able to do is if it's 7 o'clock at night and you see an issue, be able to self-service. So a lot of what we've done is add features where you can put in when you're traveling. So you're going to Florida for 3 months, you can put in your travel rules to make sure that your card works. You can limit a lot of the services that you're using. So for instance, I don't really shop online with my debit card, so I just have that function turned off completely. So another thing, I can reduce the limits. Say I have a kid in high school or a grandchild that I want to keep track of, or whoever it is, I can put limits on those cards and reduce the spending limit to help better manage those funds. So really what it does, and another thing is if you see any fraudulent transaction or something you're not aware of, we do have the ability to just go ahead and turn the card off completely. And then we can also see those transactions. And one of the cool things that it does is if you go to Casey's General Store, it actually has an image and an address of exactly which Casey's you were at. So you can tell, oh yeah, that was me. That's okay to turn my card back on. Or hey, no, it wasn't. I need to reach out to the bank and file a dispute with them to get my money back and then get a new card issued. So some of the key features that we kind of went over is setting alerts for your real-time transactions and scheduled payments. Using the digital wallet. Is anyone familiar with the digital wallet as far as Apple Pay, Google Pay? So this gives you the ability to add to a digital wallet, which is a tokenized number. And the best way to explain that is essentially it is just using a fake number for your card. So say there was a hacker that got into that terminal or into that store, whether it's Schnucks or that's usually one of the big retailers. If they were to take that information, all we had to do is change the fake card number and not have to reissue a whole new card, because you may already have payments set up or things like that that you don't want to have to switch all over. So that's one of the advantages to a digital wallet and having what we call tokenized, and we can explain that a little bit after the presentation as well to help you with that. And as I mentioned, restricting some card limits, being able to lower that down, reviewing your account activity, and essentially protecting yourself from fraud, and then setting the travel plans. So here's a little bit of a look. We'll have Kelsey go through this.
This is one of my favorite features. I have a husband and kids, so being able to turn off their debit cards is awesome, just for a little fun too. But it's also really nice because it breaks it down. So these screenshots here kind of break it down and show you what it looks like where you're at. So when transactions come in or you use your debit card, this first transaction there, it shows you where the transaction was done. So along with our fraud department, if it is a transaction that you know comes through on your card that's not you, we always send you a notification to say, is this you or is this not you, to help kind of aid with that. But you can always go here and look and see, oh, you know what, I forgot I was at that Casey's instead of the one on the other side. So it helps you kind of pinpoint where too. And then in the middle there, we have when the transaction occurred. So it has the information. It puts it in a little graph for you so you can see, but it also tells you the date of when that transaction happened. And then on the final screenshot there, it's where it happened, or excuse me, what it was. So it kind of breaks it down. It was a department store, if it was a restaurant, it was entertainment. The manager card is awesome. Turn your card on and off. You can set alerts for things. It's really, really a helpful tool. So it kind of just breaks it down into different ways based on how you'd like to view that when getting that information.
You may have any questions on the card piece.
We change the categories, customize the categories.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of times it'll go off. Well, it's a SIC code, so whatever the retailer is, but yes, you can change your categories so that you can maybe it helps you reconcile or helps know where you're spending your money. So yep, sure can. Good question.
And that'll all be under the tabs too. You'll be able to change which categories and stuff too. Any other questions?
Any in virtual ones? Moving on to alerts and notifications. So this is one of the things that's, the cards was one of Kelsey's. This is one of my favorites. Always on the move. I've got 3 kids. They all are doing sports. We're traveling. We're all over the place. So what I've done, I've been able to alerts and notifications, and I can get a text message or an email or both. And you can set, if you have a transaction, anything over a penny that comes through your account, you can get a quick text or an email that says, hey, this transaction came through your account. It just helps me keep track of what's going on. If I know it was me, if it wasn't me, and I can look into it. We have some security notifications as well that will send out, if someone's logged into your account, it'll say you logged in. Now you may know that it was you, but if it wasn't, you can reach out to us immediately. So there's a whole plethora of options out there, from deposits to checks being cleared to you name it. We can go over each and every one of them with you if you'd like, but there's a ton out there. I think there's probably over 50 to 60 different alert types. And they're all real time. Next one, if you want to go through that.
So this is the overview. This is what it looks like when you first click on the alerts tab. This is kind of what it initially brings up for you. It's our security tab here. So it goes through and it'll tell you how you're getting those. So you'll notice there it says send to iPhone. This is how you have that set up. These are all ways that you can change that within here as well. So if your online account was locked or your address was changed, you can have it set up to notify you. That way, especially if someone, you don't remember if you logged in or you do and then it reminds you of it, oh, yep, that was me. I changed my address or I went in and did something. I have done it, which is why I have my alerts set up. And my kids have my phone a lot, so you never know what they're going to be clicking on. It'll let you know if your login ID has changed. So if you've had to update or change your username at all, it will send that to the secured inbox that we have on file for you. And then we kind of break it down and go through each tab here. So these alert options, this is where you can change those categories. You can change the balances. You can put a limit on how much you spend on your account. If it gets to a certain point, you can have an alert to let you know that it's either at that balance or below a certain balance. You can do internal and external transfers. So this is where you can go to edit those and how you have those set up. And then the other is kind of when something unexpected happens, it's how we can get that set up for you to notify you if something's going on with your account. Any questions on the alerts? Anyone have any alerts set up? Very cool. Awesome.
Good. Question, listen. We'll keep moving. Next, we'll talk a little bit about online bill pay. Who is utilizing our online bill pay service today? Okay. Is it a tool that you use weekly, monthly? Monthly? Yeah, pay your bills and just kind of keep track of those. So one of the things that we like the bill pay service is it is a one spot to track all your bills if that's what you want to do. So you can tell when you want your check to go out, when it should arrive, and then you can see each and every payment that you have, so you can better keep track of your account balances and all that kind of stuff by using the bill pay. And it's also guaranteed. So if you sent a bill payment, it wasn't received, we can put a stop, there's no penalty, and then we can place that payment again for you. So a nice consolidated view of those bills. You can schedule your automatic payments. There's some e-bills where they come electronic, whether it's Ameren or somebody like that. You get an electronic bill versus a paper bill in the mail. And you can search your bill history. And then if you really needed to, you could do some account-to-account transfers as well if you need to send yourself a check, if you happen to bank with another institution. But we'll have another service that will show you in a little bit where we can make that a little bit easier as well.
So this is what the bill payment area looks like, and this will be similar to the profile and alerts tab. It'll be up at the top there. Once you click into this, it allows you to set it up. If you notice at the top, it's got different tabs for activity and sending money with Zelle. Does anyone know what Zelle is and utilize Zelle at all? We call those person-to-person payments here, and that makes it very easy. So you can kind of quickly, and that way, if you can't get into the bank, you can always send it right through, and it's a very secure way to do so. It's got your accounts and your profile, so you can still manage all of those here, but it allows you to set up, you can add in the company or the person. You can also send money using that way too. On the side there, it'll show you as you add these in for certain bills, it'll show you when those bills are due. It'll show you if you have any pending payments. So if you've set up that bill pay, it'll show you the ones that are pending to either be sent out or that have sent out. And it'll show you your most recent payments for 45 days. So you can keep track of the payments that have sent out. It's really simple. I really love this feature as well. I utilize bill pay. I have multiple accounts, so I have it. So my check goes into one, and then I have my bills that I know are due, and I move it straight over. And then I go in and I set my bills for the month, and I don't have to worry about anything, and I get notifications. So it makes it very, very easy. And then it's got some how-to and settings on there also, so it'll help walk you through that. It's very, very easy to use, and we're happy to help you if you have any questions.
I have a question from the chat.
Sure.
Mercedes asks, for checks not received by the vendor, when putting a stop payment on the original check, is there a stop payment fee?
There is not. That's part of the payment guarantee from the bill pay service, because they're guaranteeing delivery, so they will cover any stop payments that need to take place.
Any other questions regarding bill pay?
See if I can put it back on. There. Okay, on to Zelle. So Kelsey mentioned Zelle. Is anybody more familiar? Maybe you've heard of Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App, something like that, where you're sending person-to-person payments. So we run into that quite a bit with our customer base, and it's a great way to send money real time. If you go out to lunch with a friend, one person can pick up the bill and you can just pay them, your half. Well, we see a lot of people using Venmo, but we like to think Zelle is a little bit better for a couple of different reasons. One is, and the big one, it's more secure. So being a bank regulated P2P system, we can keep an eye on things. And, we have limits in place and we don't store money on a third-party site like a Venmo. So if you're familiar with Venmo, they keep money in an account that they're holding, gaining interest on, and then you have to pull that money into your account, right? So Zelle, it's really simply from your account to the other person's account or vice versa. So you can request money as well. So Zelle's a very easy way to send money person to person. The one big caution is make sure you know who you're sending the money to. They are irrevocable. Now, we can do disputes on them, but a lot of times if they go to the wrong person or in the wrong hands, that money's gone. So we'll do our best to get that money back, but you always just want to know who you're actually sending it to. And we'll talk a little bit more about the security of it as we get into the fraud portion, but we can go to the next slide here. It's just a screenshot, but
You can access it through your mobile too. For bill pay and Zelle, I personally like to use our website just because it gives you a little more information and you can kind of see things in whole, but you also can utilize our mobile app. This is exactly what it looks like. If you are enrolled in it, you'll see it down at the bottom where it says quick links there. It'll have a little purple Z and it'll say send money with Zelle, and you're able to click on that and can initiate it through that way. One thing I forgot on the bill pay section is you have to enroll in bill pay. So you just have to enroll in that service, which you would just go to that tab and say that you want to enroll in it in order to send money with Zelle. It does not mean that you have to utilize the bill pay. If you're utilizing Zelle, it kind of satisfies that for it. But you do, in order to see that Zelle pop up on your quick links there or on your mobile, you do have to enroll in the bill pay. So if you're ever trying to get in there and send money with Zelle, and you're like, where'd my link go? You can always give us a call too, or you can go on to the website version and it shows it a little bit more clearly there where you can click on it. So just a piece of advice with that. If you want Zelle, you got to enroll in that bill pay.
Yep. Just one other example that I like to use Zelle for. It's you got several nieces and nephews and family members, and it's a great way to send 25, 30, whatever the amount is to them for their birthday. They get it on their birthday. It's a nice little gift. You can send a little message to them as well instead of maybe writing out a check. And I obviously like to see our significant others and families on their birthdays, but it's an easy way to do so if you're traveling or if they're not close in proximity. So just something to keep in mind, just a use case there. Any questions on Zelle? External transfers. So we've mentioned the way to send money to yourself with bill pay, where it's actually going to cut a check and send it, to your account. External transfers is another way to do that, to send money between institutions. So say you only had a loan with us, you could set this up and pull money from another bank into pay your loan here with Bank of Springfield. And we do keep it secure by doing some trial deposits. So when you set it up initially, it will send 2 small dollar amounts to the other institution, and then you have to log into them, verify them, come back into ours, and make sure that it's correct. And that's just all for security purposes. But the external transfers is a good way. If you have a high yield interest account, probably here at Bank of Springfield, I'm hoping, you're pulling money in to fund that account, and it just takes a day or two. So once it's set up, it's very easy. Again, it's secure. You don't have to worry about writing yourself a check or coming to the bank. I know we're getting out of winter here, but sometimes in winter we have some bad weather. So it's a nice way to utilize the service to move money without having to get out and about. So
this is just a little snip here showing you how to set that up. There is a transfer button up at the top. We make it nice and bright and green for you too, so you can see it. And it's got the transfer button there, and you can utilize this to send money to another account that you have at a different institution. You simply just have to click on the transfer button and it allows you to choose. So you can choose what account it's going out of, what account it's going into, the date. There's a repeat button. So if this is something that you wanted to have repeated, if it's a biweekly or maybe it's a monthly mortgage payment or a car payment or some sort of payment that needs to go out, you can set this up for it to repeat on its own. And then it's out of sight, out of mind for you. And obviously you can come back here and see the external transfers that you've made, or it'll show on your statement as well. You type in the amount, you can put a description in for yourself, kind of like on a check, the memo line. It's a nice way to just give yourself a reminder as to what this payment is for. And And the nice thing is if it's got a little red star on it, it just is a reminder that it's required for you, and that way you don't forget any important information. You can also do internal too. I don't know if we have a slide for that, but you can do internal transfers too with your accounts here. You can switch money real quick. Any questions on external transfers? Does anyone utilize that option? Pretty quick and easy for you? Awesome. Very good to hear. Yes.
So what's the difference between that and using Zelle to send money to like?
Yep, so that's a great
That
question.
is a great question.
So external transfers is known as me-to-me payments. So if I'm gonna send money to myself at another bank or pull money in, I have to be on both accounts. Right, so we may verify that. We may make an outbound call to, say it's Chase Bank. We may call them and say, hey, is Matt Stark on this account as well? Because we want to make sure if I'm pulling money from that I'm an owner on both those accounts. Now Zelle, they don't see any of that account information. That's for person to person. So that's me. I could be Matt Stark, and if you give me your cell phone number, I can just send you money. So it's me to you, essentially. So just the big difference is Zelle you can send to anybody. External transfer, it's to yourself, your own accounts. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Good
And
question.
it also helps us be able to keep that money secure for you as well. In case you're sending money to somebody else and a wrong account number or a routing number was provided, we don't accidentally send it to someone that it was not intended for. We can confirm that you were the recipient of that too. So it kind of just helps us have a bigger secure factor there for you. Awesome, great question. Anyone in the chat? Okay.
Nope. See if we might have one. Oh, got it for another. Okay.
Might have to-
Thank you. Credit Sense. This is a fairly new product that we rolled out. I think we rolled out in October of last year. But Credit Sense is a great tool to monitor your credit score and credit reporting. So it is in our online banking channel and on the mobile app, and allows you to view your credit score. That does update periodically, and then also any of your report that you have out there. So if you got a car loan, it's going to show up. It's going to show what your balance is on there. So there's a lot of cool features. I look at it almost every day. It's just kind of neat. It gauges, it's almost like a speedometer. It shows you where your credit score is. Now, hopefully it's not fluctuating like that, but hopefully it's over here.
Hold steady over on that side.
It's a nice tool, and it is free. It's something we want to introduce to our customers to make sure that they can keep a closer eye on their credit score, make sure no one's taking any loans out on your behalf that you're not aware of. So great tool, and I'll have Kelsy explain a little bit about it.
I'm still learning a little bit about it too, with it being so new. So Matt might have to jump in and help me if I have questions, but it's a really cool view. It shows you everything kind of all encompassing. You can set goals. So if there's something that you are looking for that you aren't sure or want to know how it's going to affect, you can put that in as a goal, and it's going to tell you and show you what you need to do to achieve that goal, or if you're already there, that you can do it. You can check it. I believe it's every 24 hours and it updates weekly as far as the scores. It's awesome. I check it every day. I really enjoy it. I used Credit Karma before, and now I use this solely, and it's all in your app. It's very, very cool. It tells you what cards you have. It'll give you advice if you are looking to do something else. It'll tell you what card or what loan would work out for you. No, you're okay. That's all I had for Credit Sense. Like I said, I'm still kind of learning about it. But I recommend doing it. And that way you don't have your information on a separate party app. Everything is solely through your mobile banking. It makes it a lot easier to navigate for you.
Yeah, Credit Karma, like one time somebody tried to apply for credit with my name.
Yeah.
Got an alert. You set alerts and you can get that.
Yes, yep, it'll set alerts and notifications. And also being a part of our Classic 50 Club, we do have a Classic 50 Plus account now that we've added on to. And that also comes with identity monitoring, credit monitoring. It sends you notifications. I have the Plus account. someone was trying to had gotten my information and I got an alert as well. And I was able to give them a call. It's super helpful. So it's nice to have that all encompassing. So if you also don't have our Classic 50 Plus account and want some more information about that afterwards, we'd be happy to talk to you. It's also another good, it comes with a bunch of other fun discounts and travel stuff as well. Yes.
Which bureau do the scores come from?
I believe it comes through all three, doesn't it?
It's all three.
Equifax, TransUnion.
Yeah. Now,
The other one is.
thing is, I believe there's a disclaimer on there, but you wouldn't want to go like hunt for a loan using that credit score. We're still, whatever entity you're getting a loan from, they're still going to pull it. But for these purposes, it is a soft credit pull, so that's not impacting your credit score at all. It's just doing a soft pull to generate that number for you. So, yeah, good question.
Yes.
One of the other things I was going to mention too, you mentioned, someone took out a loan on your behalf. You can go directly in here and dispute that. You can start the dispute process that does reach out to those bureaus and gets that going for you. So
There is a tab located on there too, so it's very easy to find. You can just click it and it walks you through what information they need you to provide in order to start that dispute, and then they'll take it from there. Great questions.
Is this a place you could put a credit lock on? Do I have to go to all three every time? Freeze my credit and then unfreeze it?
yeah, unfortunately, that's still a thing.
It's
Yeah, I would hope so. I think if it was up to us, it would be a click of a button, kind of like we can turn it on and off the cards.
Yeah.
But I think it's more monitored by the bureaus themselves. They may want to have a little bit better control. I don't know why, but I would assume that is coming in the near future, and we keep pushing for that, advocating for that. So we want it to be easy on you guys, right? It's as safe as possible. So I agree. Any other questions? No? No. Okay. We're going to move into a general high-level overview of the online banking. And we thought we would do this at the end, just kind of tie it all in together. I kind of broke down each service. But hopefully what you'll see is that it is all streamlined, that it's all in one spot, everything to navigate. It's pretty intuitive. You can get here or there. And the big thing I always like to tell a group that's willing to attend these seminars is reach out if you need help. We've always got people that answer the phones. So we'd love to help and make sure you guys are getting what you need out of our bank.
This is what our main website looks like. So you would just go to the www.bankwithbos.com. And this is what that main page, and also I will, since we just talked about Credit Sense, any of our products and services are also listed here, but we do have a very awesome on the blog information about our Credit Sense. It breaks it down, but like any question you have, it's probably going to be listed there with an answer too. So if you do have questions, especially since it was kind of so new for me too, it's got some great information on there regarding it. We've got the e-business and e-banking. No, you're okay. Up at the top there. It's also got the menu button, which will just take you to different parts of our website. But you'll just click on the e-banking there. If you do have business accounts or know somebody that does, they utilize that e-business, which is why there's two separate there. And then this is what it looks like. If you're choosing to enroll yourself online, this is what it looks like there. You don't have to do that. I have always found it easier, and I enjoyed when customers would come to me because it helped me kind of learn it as well and be able to answer real-time questions. So you can always come into a branch, and we, once you open up that account, we will get all that information, and we can set you up with a username and a password as well. But this is what it will look like if you're going to enroll on your own. And you'll just put your information there. You'll put what type of account, and remind me with the PIN. That's the only one thing.
So the PIN is tricky. So another additional layer of security, if you are enrolling in online banking services, we do provide a 4-digit PIN to put in here. It is separate from your debit card PIN, but this is because when you call us, we then verify, authenticate, make sure that it is you that is signing up. So that's why we have that in there.
We usually would set them up at our desk, so I'm still adjusting to this as well. But you will put your information there and begin enrollment, and it's going to have you create username and stuff for you. It's also, we have this new security feature now it will allow you to choose how you want to receive any notifications that you get. If there's an alert that comes in or a transaction that you've used, this is how you're choosing to receive those. You can't change them. All you got to do is let us know or call us, come in, and we can get with the call center and we can get that changed for you. And bankers, I believe, have now started to learn how to do that as well. So you can choose a text message, you can choose a phone call. It will call you immediately. So if an alert comes in and this is how you have it set up, you will get a call and you'll be able to say yes or no, that was me, or answer any questions that we or the fraud center may have for you. This is what it looks like whenever you get enrolled for the first time. We set you up and now we're helping you get logged in. This is what that screen looks like for you. It's going to have your username up at the top. It does give you credentials and what's required in order to set your password. Try to make it as obscure as you can. I'm guilty of trying to make things easy for me to remember as well, but it's super important to try to keep those safe. So not repeating passwords, making sure it's something easy to remember, but something we can switch in and out. Or you can move things around. You'll type in your password and hit continue and it will allow you, then it's gonna bring you here. So you've set it up, we've enrolled you, you've set it up, and now you're gonna come here and you're gonna put those credentials that you set. It's our way to make sure that our system has registered the information that you have now set up, and it's gonna have you log in with your actual personal credentials now. And then once you hit log in, it's gonna take you here. This is what your homepage looks like. Top left, it's just got your accounts, your transfer, and your bill payment. So you can click on any of these to help utilize that. On your right hand, top right hand, it's got all of your green rectangles. This is your profile where you would go to change for e-statements or enroll. It's got your alerts, an email, and a chat feature. Our chat feature is really cool too. You can chat with an actual customer service rep that we have in our call center. They are my people. They're who I call if I have any questions on online. I don't even attempt to try it. I call them. They are so well versed and know exactly what they'll be able to help you, no problem. It lists out your accounts down at the bottom there. If you have any bill pay set up, it will show you on the right hand side. So it's just kind of an overview. You can see everything all at once. And then this is that profile tab. So if you're coming in to enroll in e-statements, or you need to change your phone number or an email address, or you want to update any of your personal information, you can come here and do so. At the bottom, it already shows you what how you're enrolled in statements. So you don't have to necessarily click on the e-statement tab. It's already going to have them listed for you. And then you are able to edit or manage those. Quick thing also at the bottom, you got your manage devices button. You can manage the devices that you're logged into on your online as well, which makes it nice for you. That's it.
Do you have any questions on the enrollment process? Yes.
So can we have like 3 people on one account?
You can have 3 people on one account. Now, are you talking about then are those 3 able to enroll online?
And get all and view everything. Mom, why did you buy a gold Cadillac in Nashville? You know, just ask.
Yes. Yes.
So what we recommend, we try to get away from sharing login credentials at this point, especially with the new Secure Now feature where it sends you that text message or you get a phone call to log in. What we recommend is that if you have a social or a tax ID, that each person on that account would be using their own to enroll. That way they have their own credentials. And again, that way you can say, hey, mom bought a gold Cadillac. It wasn't you buying it because you're not sharing credentials. We can tell that way. So, yep.
It makes it very nice too.
We'll be able to see the activity.
Yes.
Yep.
They have all the same features that you can see, they can see as well. It just makes it nice. And a lot of couples, you know, they use one login, like me, my husband, just the check goes in there and then I pay the bills, right? So, but we don't, I still have him have his own separate just in case. So you can always set it up that way. Very helpful. Your question too.
Any other questions?
Good.
We're butting up against time here before I hand it back over to Joan. I want to go over just kind of high level again. How do all the things we talked about better protect us from fraud? Kind of sprinkled some of that in. But what we want, again, is for you to utilize the digital services to your advantage to combat fraud. Not to be scared of them. You know, trust the bank, trust us as a resource to reach out, call us, use us if necessary. You got the chat function. But really the high level is to, you know, your ability to monitor your account activity in real time, whether that's your checking, savings, mortgage, whatever the case is, but then also your card activity. You know, be able to monitor that stuff real time, then get your alerts, be able to know if you're traveling, whatever the case is, you can still get an alert to let you know. The quicker we find stuff, the quicker we know that there's a problem, the quicker we can address it and make sure that you're not out financially at all. Well, nor the bank for that matter. Cutting down on paper financial documents, you know, taking a lot of that sensitive information out of the workflow of everyday life, you know, just keeping it safe and secure underneath password protected and multi-factor. And then we did want to point you to some additional resources and educational videos that we do have on the website. So they've got all your videos that can walk you through each one of these products step by step. And they're just a great resource and a great tool to be able to get more information. If you do have questions, obviously, you guys know how to get a hold of us, but we're always here to help. So any questions on that overall? Yes.
You mentioned earlier that you have 2 years worth of documents stored that we can access.
Yes.
What if we need something older than that? Can the bank get it for us or?
Yes. So we keep things like that pretty much forever. We can always go back and get a statement and pull that for you. You know, check images, statements, whatever the case is, we can pull that information. Good question. Yes.
Have you experienced much people getting it in the mail and scratching out the recipient, changing it to their name? I mean, she writes check for everything. We're kind of gotta stop writing these checks and sending it to them.
As a matter of fact, we do. We see that a lot. We have now on our commercial side, we have a positive pay system. But again, it's a good way with the alerts to set, you can see things that are cleared real time. So once that check hits that account, you can view the image, you'll get an alert. And then if it's not what you intended it for, the payee's been changed, the amount's been altered, you reach out to us, there's a time frame that we have that we can go ahead and get that check returned. Yep. It's a great question, but we're seeing it a lot, and a lot of it is being stolen out of mailboxes. And I would mention too, you know, everyone's carrying their cell phones around. Sometimes they don't have to steal the check itself. They just take a picture of the check, then they can go make their own check. So it's something to keep in mind. You know,
So you shouldn't carry checks in your purse.
you can carry them in there, but yeah, I mean, my strategy is I try to write as few checks as possible, and we don't. But if I do need to write a check, I won't fill it out, but I'll have it, you know, just the one check that I need for that day wherever I'm going. I don't keep the checkbook with me.
My son told me that if I had to write a check, which I'm targeting to have it, permanent ink blue, I have trouble getting rid of that. Is that true?
That sounds like it would be, right? Yeah. I think a lot of it depends though. There's so many options to do things remotely or mobile. You know, we talked about digital, but you know, a lot of people are doing the mobile deposit with their phone. So you're just taking an image. And then to me, a lot of it depends on the human being factor. You know, if you're going to any sort of check cashing facility, whether it's Walmart, Dollar General, you know, the home page, whatever it is, the currency exchange, you know, it's only as good as that person saying that if they care, if they want to do their actual due diligence to make sure nothing's been altered or fictitious. So there's a lot of elements in there. Anything else? Okay. Kick it back over to Joe.
What I wanted to share with everyone that we have been traveling since April of last year. And what I've been doing is setting up the different programs on things that would be theater related, other day trips where we see 2 or 3 different things in a day. And then we have our long trips this year. This is our first year going to back traveling again. And then I'm working on a current brochure, and we're going to have in it, we have Branson listed this year. We have an overnight listed here in Chicago. And so I'm trying to make a well-rounded program, something that everyone would like to do. And these seminars are a big part of our program to see what the customers would like and to hear more about. So if you have any suggestions, please let us know. And then I have a ladies luncheon that will be put on this year. Lynn and I will be doing that. And these are the theaters. I like to use the little theater in Goodfield. It's called over in Sullivan, it is called the Little Theater on the Square, and the Barn 3 in Goodfield. But we are using, last 2 years now, I've used the Beef House Dinner Theater. It's just over across the border there into Indiana. It's not a very long drive at all.
It's worth it. That food is delicious. And the venue is so cool.
Yes. And then I go to the Fox in St. Louis, try to get different shows there. So just trying to do a variety of things. And if there's something that you would like to see or do, please let us know. That way we can try to incorporate it into our program. And does anybody have any questions about our travel?
Where is that information located?
This is on your brochure. The brochure will go out quarterly, March, June, September, and December. It goes out like the first week of the next month. And in that way, it lists all of the activities that we're doing with the program.
These are on our website as well too. If you go to bankwithbos.com and search Classic 50, we'll keep that information up to date as well.
And if you have an email address on file with us, your brochure will be going email. If you didn't have an email address on file, it goes paper brochure. So all three ways it works for everyone. Yes. So those were the brochures that were out on the table there for everyone. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions about our trips? We leave from the parking lot over at Farm and Home. It's easier for the big buses to get through the lot there. And your cars you can leave those in the parking lot. It's not a patrolled lot, but it is a safe lot because the police do go through there. And we leave from all of our trips from there.
What airports do you use?
What?
What airports do you use?
We go out of O'Hare on our big flights. If they come and we have a bus, I use Colette. They come and pick us up here at the parking lot. They're over at Farm and Home. And we go to O'Hare and we fly to our destination. And then we bus around what we're doing. This year, we're going to the islands of New England, the Pacific Northwest, and Charleston, Savannah, and Jekyll Island. Next year, we're looking towards Hawaii and the Greenbrier, the historical Greenbrier. And each thing will be always listed in the brochure and all the places. Anybody else have any questions? Well, I'd like to ask if everyone would share that we are back traveling. Please share with your neighbors and family. We are out on the road again. So we thank you. And any questions for anybody right now? We're going to do, Ashlyn will tell us.
So that will conclude our presentation for today. We do have some of our personal bankers that are hanging around. So whether you already have online banking and have questions, or maybe you're not signed up yet for online or mobile banking and would like to work one-on-one with them, we have Brian and Tim here that are more than happy to sit with you and help walk you through those. Our presenters are here as well to answer any additional questions you might have. We do have lunch set up back there, so please feel free to hang out, grab a sub, something to drink, some chips and cookies. Again, restrooms are here right behind me, or if you go out that main door where you came in, back over on this side over here. Thank you.